friendly attitude. People always smile. I myself also, you see, firstly, very good teeth. So I show my teeth, smile. They also show smile. That's the way 7 billion human beings on this planet. When we born through mother's milk and mother's compassion. The Indian tradition, karuna, ahimsa, karuna, compassion. Our life began with karuna. At the time of dying, surrounded with people who really shows you karuna, you feel very happy. So therefore, whether we believe religion or not, we should be kind-hearted person. Then your whole life, firstly, because of karuna, practice or sort of concept of karuna, you happy, much happier. That brings healthy body and a healthy community. So whether believe in religion or not, we should be kind human being. On the belief of 7 billion we are same, we have to live together. So that's my main message wherever I go. I myself, from Tibet, when reach India as a refugee, I consider we are same. So, warm-heartedness is some kind of secular ethics. That's very important. So according to my own experience, this warm-heartedness there, my physical also much, much healthier. And my mind much more peace, happy. So you, my young brothers, sisters, you should think about warm-heartedness. And then through that way, we can build happy human life on happy world. You see, too much emphasis, we and they, and weapon, and produce a lot of weapons killing. It is not answer to achieve happy humanity. Happy humanity, here, the 1,000-year-old India's tradition of karuna, very important. Then different religion, different races, these are secondary. Basically, we are a human being. So, warm-heartedness is the key factor. We Tibetan, since 7th century, the Tibetan king, although with marriage with Chinese princess, very close link, but he decide we Tibetan, we should have our own writing. So he developed Tibetan writing more like Devanagari, Kaka Kanga, Chacha Chanya, like that. So I think I really admire the Tibetan king, Songtse Gampo, was a very close relation with Chinese emperor, but he emphasized we should have our own writing. Then 8th century, Chisung Tezin. Since, you see, we follow a Nalanda tradition, so he invited Shanta Rashida from Nalanda, top scholar and logician. Logic. His writing about logic, about philosophy, we can still read and study. So, 8th century, the Chisung Tezin, he started. Now we have our own language, our own writing. Now important is translation. Many books from Pali and more books from Sanskrit. Altogether, we have this Kanjur, Tenjur, about 100 volumes, Tenjur more than 200 volumes, together 300 volumes, all translated from Pali or Sanskrit. So then we start our study in our own language. So now today, I think with Tibetan, we have a much wider, deeper understanding about the Nalanda tradition. So Nalanda, in Buddhism, something about the mind, how to develop peace of mind, not through just a prayer, but thinking. So that way, even, you see, one's own so-called enemy who create suffering to you, you can develop special compassion to them. Actually, troublemaker is best teacher of your inner strength. So in our case, now Tibet case, we suffer a lot under Chinese communist control. But we consider it's a good opportunity to practice compassion. So very helpful. Now, Tibet, politically Chinese communist control, but spiritually Tibetan Buddhist understanding, Buddhist belief very firm. Now more and more Chinese now following Tibetan Buddhism. So some of our translation reach in China, Lendru University. Of course, ordinary people cannot see because there is control. But those professors, some Lendru University professors, after saw these books which we wrote in India, they very much impressed. They say, oh, Tibetan Buddhism is truly a Nalanda tradition. It is a scientific religion. So a number of Chinese really now showing interest. So that's, I feel Tibetan rich